All right, so here we have an Angular application that we want to use to communicate with a Node.js server. Right now, we have several components that allow us to render a list of courses, view the details of a particular course, look at the modules, the lessons, and whatnot, right? And so we would like to expand this further, right, so that it can now also interact with a Node.js server that we are implementing that is exposing a list of quizzes, a list of questions, and whatnot. Yes? So we're going to create a couple of components here that are going to go fetch data from a server. Right? So let's take a look at that. Let's create one of these components. Right? So for instance, we would like to go fetch a list of quizzes. Right? So let's do that. Let's create a component in Angular for that purpose. So to do this, we're going to go into the terminal, right? And we can, I don't know if you can see that. Probably it's better if I use the actual terminal. Right. Activity. Any questions here? Okay. Let's use an actual terminal. I guess this is too small and can't see it. So let's go terminal. Terminal. We'll go into that directory. Go into webdev 2020 spring cs5610. Oops. cd cs5610. And in here, let's go into our Angular client application. Webdev Januzzi client Angular. Here, let's create a brand new Angular component, and we'll call it quizzes. Right? And the quizzes component is going to presumably list a set of quizzes, an array of quizzes. All right, so we'll do ng generate a component called quizzes. So that's going to generate a directory called quizzes component, right? And in there, we'll have the 4 artifacts that make up a component, right? So we can open it up from our favorite IDE. Notice that we have quizzes there, and right now the HTML that renders it it's a silly content. For now, we're just going to maybe blow that away as a div that is going to contain an h2 that says quizzes, right? And the way we would navigate there and to display these quizzes, we can create a routing that if we see in their path, if we see path quizzes, right, we would display the component quizzes component. There it is, right? To try this out, we can run this from the command line. So ng, or maybe we can do it from here. We can do ng serve. So that's going to start the Node.js server that is going to host this Angular application. Is going to compile all that TypeScript into a low-level JavaScript that most browsers can understand, right? And then deploy it into a local Node.js server. And then we can navigate to it using HTTP localhost 4200. So there it is. So it's compiling. It says that it's completed successfully. We can now head over to our favorite browser, and we can hit the localhost 4200. So this is the component that we had earlier, the courses and whatnot. And so let's head over to the route we just created. So I believe it was quizzes, right? And there we have. So we are now in that component that we just built, right? So let's focus now on retrieving data from a Node.js server.